Hold up, you thought last week was brutal. Think again. Naked and Afraid Apocalypse Episode 6 takes things to a whole new level of raw intensity. This is where surviving turns into a psychological battle, and the great African wilderness throws every curveball nature can muster. If you want to know who braved the elements and who was pushed to their limits, stick around. We're diving deep into every wild moment and huge twist. By the end, you won't look at survival TV the same way. We pick up on day 20 of the grueling 35-day challenge. The mood is tense, the energy low, and the predators, wow, they are audibly closer than ever. Joe is out there running solo for over 2 weeks, the pressure palpable. His biggest motivation is refusing to become anyone's prey, and in this wasteland, everything has either vanished or become a predator itself. The chilling growls at night aren't just background noise. Lions are prowling just yards away from camp, and hyenas are getting bolder. Joe's resolve is simple. If I'm going to die fighting. And honestly, you sense that from every exhausted movement and wary glance. Across camp, Teal steps up as the team's primary hunter and actually scores serious protein by landing a big catch. It's every survivalist's dream. Fresh, red meat at last. Spirits soar briefly. It's those moments of feasting, the rare cheers and camaraderie that keep them resilient, even as the predators circle closer. But just when you think things are getting easier, Waz and Teal stumble upon haunting paw prints barely 40 yards from their shelter. These aren't just animals passing by. The cats are staking claims right where the survivalists sleep. It signals a major environmental shift. Even the native prey is dying off, and with each carcass found, it's clear that this land is becoming a predator's paradise. Frank, on Team Thunderbone, is all about hustle. He scores guinea fowl, goes old school with primitive traps, and carries the responsibility of feeding his teammates. But as the sun blazes above, hitting temperatures in the hundreds, basic survival becomes a waiting game. He's relentlessly resetting traps, keeping hope alive, but dehydration and exhaustion are ticking time bombs. Separately, Wes and Stee are locked in a losing battle for food at their own camp. Their fortunes hit rock bottom when their big food win spoils, and their water source becomes more of a threat than a lifeline. It's not just about finding food. Now venomous snakes like black mambas are slithering into the shelter, and Wes gets a terrifying close call with death. One bite, game over. You can hear the emotional fatigue in Wes's voice. South Africa has beaten him before, and the sting of past failure lingers. After a crushing realization and failed attempts to catch fish, he breaks down, nearly ready to tap out again. But somehow, the partnership with Steve pulls him back. Wes apologizes for his rough mood, humbled and exhausted, and together they pivot, holding on to hope and a whole lot of stubbornness. Joe's solo grind is relentless, his only company. An aggressively territorial elephant that tramples his territory at night. Instead of giving up, Joe faces the beast head on, roaring back in defiance and forcing it to retreat. It's both a triumph and a drain. The adrenaline hit is short-lived, and the reality remains he's hungry, physically fading, and solo survival is a brutal grind. Meanwhile, Waz and Teal realize their safe haven is turning against them. With predators stepping up, prey gone, and the environment growing more unforgiving, they make a tough choice. It's time to prep for the big trek. Instead of clinging to safety, they pack the most vital gear, pliers, knife, fire starter wire, and steel themselves for the journey north toward the edge of the wasteland and, hopefully, civilization. Team Thunderbone also hits a major crisis point. Frank, pressing his luck under the fiery sun, suddenly collapses with symptoms of heat exhaustion, nausea, cold sweats, the works. Alexa and Steven instantly move to protect him, calling for medical intervention and making Frank's health priority one. The medic assesses the situation, heart rate elevated, dehydration severe. But after rest and continuous monitoring, Frank stabilizes. Alexa is shaken, realizing true heroism out here isn't just about providing food. It's about caring for each other and surviving together. As night falls, the teams reflect on the razor-thin margin between survival and disaster. Predators howl, and the morale is low. Joe tries to get some sleep, yelling at nearby hyenas, and everyone's nerves are frayed. Day 21 marks a major turning point. Woz and Teal set off into the unknown with 60 pieces of jerky, heavy packs, and strategic optimism. The usual challenge would be over by now, but the apocalypse setup means 2 more grueling weeks remain. They cross burnt terrain, their makeshift shoes no match for buffalo thorns and wary feet. The invisible presence of lurking predators amps up the dread. Thunderbone team migrates as well. Their water supply and food are completely gone, so there's no choice but to push north through treacherous brush, razor-sharp acacia thorns, and the dangers of concealed lions and hippos. Frank, still recovering, battles heat, headaches, and a crushing pack of man-made gear. Alexa is deeply concerned, watching Frank falter, seeing the telltale sweat and sunburn that almost ruined him a day before. Wes and Steve finally score with their scavenged Wrigley Tin Dam, trapping a fish that reverses their losing streak. It's not just calories, it's a massive mental boost. The tiniest win in these conditions feels like a feast, and the duo celebrates with real joy, fish head stew and all. Back with Woz and Teal, the journey brings a surprise encounter. The new waterhole holds not only water, but Joe himself. After days alone, Joe's social skills are rusty, but his joy is real. Woz and Teal offer him jerky, trading protein for stories of his rough experience, mostly terrapin and catfish for sustenance. Lions walking shockingly close to his shelter, nights filled with wild sounds. Teal's a little rattled by the predator activity, but for now, the crew enjoys solidarity and shared resources in Joe's well-made boma. As if to underscore the danger, Thunderbone team arrives at a massive new waterhole, only to run face first into a group of hippos. These are not cute, friendly animals, they're the deadliest mammal in Africa, capable of outrunning humans and crushing bones. The team wisely retreats, searching for safer waters, fully aware that new territory brings unpredictable threats. Joe, meanwhile, is torn between teaming up and sticking to his stubborn solo hunt. Woz and Teal press him to move on, arguing that the area is dead for game. But Joe's pride and sense of unfinished business chain him to the land. The emotional rhythm here is real. Joe is isolated not just physically, but mentally, clinging to the hope of one last chance to prove himself. Ultimately, Woz and Teal decide they have to leave no matter what. They'll offer Joe a spot in their escape, but his hermit mentality is hard to break. In the final scenes, teams battle sweltering heat, thorny terrain, and fast, draining energy. Frank pushes through exhaustion, Alexa keeps a close watch, and Steven pushes for one more mile. Woz and Teal, after an exhausting net drag at Joe's pond, strike gold a bucket full of terrapin, enough for a real feast. Joe is overwhelmingly grateful. It's his first hot meal in ages, and it restores his strength, at least for now. All paths lead forward now. Teams are migrating, rehydrating, and holding out for the next big win or devastating loss. With 5 teams scattered, predators on the move, and survivors strung out and desperate, Episode 6 reminds us this is more than just survival. It's fighting for hope, redefining teamwork, and facing the reality that not everyone will make it out of the wasteland. Wrapping things up, Episode 6 is a masterclass in what happens when the will to endure meets an environment designed to break you. Physical exhaustion, psychological isolation, surprise reunions, and predatory threats all reach new heights. The teams face brutal choices, monsters in the dark, and internal drama as they push past the halfway point. Some win small victories, others suffer big setbacks, but everyone is changed. The quest for survival now teeters between forging ahead and knowing when to let go. Did you spot any foreshadowed twists or have a favorite survival moment? Drop your thoughts below. If this recap pulled you into the apocalypse, smash that like button, share with your fellow survival fans, and subscribe for more deep dives each week. What would be your game plan if dropped in the wasteland? Comment below. I want to know.